What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the #1 Westworld Theory podcast, Theory Time with Pleeka. I'm Jerome.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Fat Needle Dick. And this is where I'm going to jump in and tell you my off-the-wall crazy theory.
Wow. All right, so to start off the show, we're going to start with our #1 theory that I have on the list here, which is the Hale/Elsie theory loop. They're taking Bernard and they're kind of like trying to get information out of him.
Right.
First thing I do want to mention, though, is how we got the idea for this theory was the subtitles in last week's episode, they kept calling Elsie Hale.
Right. What are they doing now?
Now they call her Elsie. So the theory's a little it's not as good now as it was before. They could have just fixed it. It could have been like a flub, like that's what it's supposed to be, and like a reveal, and they fucked up.
Yes.
I still don't 100% believe the theory. It's just what I thought of, and I did want to mention it on the show.
Right.
But the theory was that Elsie isn't really Elsie. She's Charlotte Hale, and she's taking Bernard through all his memories and brought him to the cradle and all this shit to get information out of him.
I mean, it's a possible theory.
Because there's that theory out there that Bernard's, like, in his memories, he's just being looped through it by Delos, trying to get shit out of him.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yeah. But I don't. The theory isn't as good now because they fixed the subtitles. I wanted to mention that.
But in true Westworld style, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's true.
They're just covering it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that theory, though, Hess?
Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't buy that.
Did you hear us talk about it? Did you watch the podcast me and Nick did?
I did. I watched on YouTube and I listened to on iTunes, and the entire time you guys were doing this.
Yeah.
When you guys kept talking about Bernard going to the cradle, it's like he's in the Matrix. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And I'm like screaming. I'm like, he's in the fucking Matrix.
So we said our first theory. Hess, what's one of your theories that you got this week?
So I don't know if it's necessarily a theory, more of like a question. So like Ford is technically back, but he's not technically back.
Yeah,
because he's in the cradle, right?
He's like an AI basically.
So he's like the music, technically, kind of.
Yeah. No, I'm not giving that to you. You're not right on that. No, I'm not giving that to you.
Come on. He's basically the music. He's in there. He's playing the piano.
No.
Okay. There's one problem, though, that we just figured out, which we kind of... So, he's the music, say? Because he's in the cradle? But in the latest timeline, there's no cradle.
Yeah, right before Shogun World, that episode where they go to Shogun World, they show video footage to Carl Strand, and the cradle's destroyed.
The cradle is destroyed.
Oh.
So we just completely missed that when they said that in the
episode. So I think the music's off, maybe.
So someone took him out of the cradle and put him into a host body, which is still possible.
True.
Because I feel like that's the same thing.
Well, if that's the case, then we don't even know when this was. What timeline is when Bernard goes?
Well, we brought this up in our past video because Charlotte Hale makes a slight comment in the episode. It's been about a week. How is there still people for them to shoot?
Yeah.
So I think right now we're a week before the 2 week in the future period.
Okay. So
in a couple episodes, maybe
Which
even
makes
next
sense.
week.
There's been
week
5 episodes since 1. They're halfway.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah,
sort of. Yeah.
We only have 4 more left. I think we're done, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It seems like it just
then we gotta
started.
wait 2 more years.
No, the next one's scheduled for next year, but
don't you even fucking start this.
So was Game of Thrones originally.
Yeah, it's true. So my next theory I got was also something I brought up on the last podcast, is that in that same episode that we just discussed, Carl Strand says, and you could take this either way, as you said when we watched the episode, can we get these hosts back online, the guys in the future that were in the water, and make them go follow our rules again? Yeah. I think that he's making an army, as we see in the next on. Teddy is wearing a full body armor and holding like a modern day gun in a Delos facility, and I think they cut that together with like Dolores' attack on Delos to make it look like he's with them. But you see in like 2 scenes in that attack that he's wearing his normal clothes, so it wouldn't make sense for him to switch clothes there. I think that'd be odd.
We rewatched. Easy for me to say. The next on, and Teddy's in full. Was it Delos garb?
Full Delos armor clothes. Yeah.
Blood on his face. I mean, evident. And then, but they show them all the hosts like walking in, all smoking stuff, and they kind of blur it out a little bit, but you can see Teddy next to Dolores, like to her
Yeah,
left.
and you see his little cowboy hat. He's wearing his normal clothes. So do you think that's possible that Carl Strand is making an army host to fight the other hosts?
I mean, it would make total sense. I mean, because the whole thing isn't like at least the thing that I think about whenever we talk about this. Like Dolores is Wyatt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like
in Ford's
in one,
narrative.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and she
but I mean, we
even called
see,
herself Wyatt.
but we
too,
actually see
that one
another
dude.
person as Wyatt. Yeah, and then recently in a couple episodes ago, she refers to herself as Wyatt when she's meeting the cavalry or brigade, whatever the fuck it was.
I feel like she calls herself, when she's like bad, she calls herself Wyatt.
Yeah.
But then when she's being like careful for people, she's being Dolores. Because she even mentions sometimes that they're like two different people.
Yeah, she's a little
within
schizo.
her. Yeah,
I've always thought she's a little schizo.
especially like, and then she's talking to Bernard and all that, which we can get into right now. So Hess, do you still think, because we do, that it's Arnold talking to Dolores in the scenes that we've seen that we don't know exactly when this is taking place, and Arnold in the future with the Delos team in the 2-week period?
Yeah, more than likely, yes. In the past, in the future, I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm not 100%.
What do you mean by the past?
Yeah, what do you mean by the past?
Like in the past, like I do believe that like in the timeline where we don't know where it was.
Oh, you think
I do think that's Arnold, Dolores. But the beginning of this past episode, it completely threw me for a loop when like the roles were reversed. When fucking Dolores is telling Arnold or whoever the fuck that person is, freeze all motor functions. This is a test, fidelity, and all that shit.
That scene was so badass.
It's funny. Well, you remember I said I thought that she was in charge?
You've been saying that since episode 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I never got that from the conversation.
So is Dolores Ford?
See, I don't...
Is she going to become like?
Well,
or, like
no.
To counter this, someone tweeted that at Evan Rachel Wood. Has it been Ford talking to Bernard this whole time? And she just responded, no. So
not that she wouldn't lie.
Yeah, but she just probably wouldn't reply if that was the case.
Yeah.
So the fact that she said no, I think means that is for sure Dolores. We just don't know when it all takes
what
place.
I was gonna say is that like, for the whole time I thought she was in charge of that situation. Like I thought she was the one. And I don't know. It's just the feeling I got when I watched it. But then when she says freeze all motor functions, maybe it's because I was right, but it was just like I was like, oh fuck, you know what I mean?
So are we to guess that that's in the future?
I don't know. I kind of like the idea.
I think it's
like she's turned into Maeve, like because Maeve can do that, tell people to stop. So like, are we guessing it's in the future or?
I don't know. I kind of like the idea because I've seen this on Reddit a little bit. That's the scenes we're seeing from there are from before even season 1 of Westworld, and it's Ford having her because Arnold and her had a close relationship. Talking to like he's having Dolores do the tests like William was doing to Jim Delos, and this is just him setting up Bernard. But they were like initially trying to set up Arnold, and it wasn't working. So then he just let Bernard work at Delos as he slowly tried to figure out how to make Arnold come back. And then this season is while they're showing it to us is because he's gonna finally become Arnold.
I mean, it could possibly be. I think it's in the future, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I can see it either way. I really like the idea of it being
really
like
go
we're seeing
either
these
way.
scenes where it sounds like they're talking about what's happening now, but it's really way in the past. I really like the idea of that.
Yeah, it's weird how we don't know.
Well, I mean, we've
episode
only
6.
seen about maybe 2 minutes of that room, so it's really hard to tell.
Yeah.
I do want to mention actually right now. Well,
they do say that, and some
quick.
people don't even. I mean, they think that took place that's taking place in the cradle.
Right.
But I don't know how you upload 2 people in the. I guess never mind. I don't know.
Because Ford and him are in the cradle right now.
Yeah, but Ford's always in the cradle.
That's true. So I want to give a shout out to someone real quick. Hess, I meant to text you this the other day, but I forgot. Someone on Reddit. And I was pleasantly surprised when I saw this. So I want to give a quick shout out to I forget, I can't see his name on here, so I'll put your name on the screen because I can't see it on the screenshot I took. But he put a list of essential analysis videos of Westworld to watch, and Pleeka is one of the YouTube channels he put on his list for Reddit for people to go watch.
Nice, very nice.
What's funny is I saw that list and I was like, I didn't read the list because I didn't care. So I saw his post and I was like, oh, I'm gonna post our shit on there because we're awesome. And I posted it, and I said, I love these guys, and I posted our latest Theory Time with Pleeka, and then he responded with, yeah, their analysis are great, they deserve more views, and I was like, wait, what? So we went back and looked at the list, and Pleeka was on there, and I was like, oh, shit. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to that guy on Reddit. Thanks for posting us on there, and I hope you continue liking the show.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
So Hess, do you have any other theories?
Not really. I mean,
you're really out of your ways this season.
I don't know if they were ever wings, but
I said ways.
Ways.
Oh, I thought you said wings. I was like,
dude, this season you're a complete maxi pad.
This is true.
Get it?
No, I don't. Dude, there's so much going on, and now Abby. She's been watching it the past fucking day and a half.
Oh yeah, you had a
all
story
these
about
questions.
that, right? You want to tell us that story?
Yeah,
about that?
she. I thought it was just funny. She asked how they met.
I mean to interrupt actually. So when
Okay.
when she's asking you questions, do you feel you're yeah, I'm a fuck.
I'm just you have to watch.
You don't
because
you don't feel awesome. Be like, I got the answers, bitch.
You're like, no, you gotta. Yeah, you don't give her any insight, not spoilers necessarily, but you're like, no, you gotta. Okay, so he's the host, but you gotta get, nothing like that.
Well, she's asking questions recently with the whole Shogun World thing. She's like, "What's the whole point of this?"
No, that's a good question.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I go, honestly, there's really not an answer to that. I go, other than the tattoo-faced Japanese bitch that joined them.
It's pointless.
You know what I mean? I go, there might be something later on down the road that we find out that they didn't necessarily show us, or we just kind of.
I think it's for
breezed.
Yeah, it feels like, hey, we want to go back there at some point when we run out of Dolores and Maeve and fucking Men in Black shit.
It's just mentioning an Earth on Flash, it's so you can go there in the future or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, and then her thing was why do they never run out of batteries? I thought it was kind of funny.
That's a very that totally seems like a question you would ask us on this podcast. I feel like maybe he made up that story to be like, hey guys.
No, I swear to God.
Batteries?
I would have told her they're solar.
Yeah, maybe they are. They're always outside.
This is true. Unless they're underneath.
So I got a question for you, Hess. This goes into another. This is actually us disproving a theory instead of talking about it.
I know where you're going with this.
Do you still think the Man in Black is a host?
See, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that before you guys called, and there's a lot of stuff that points to him not being, but
reality and shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, like with Emily or whatever, that whole thing, okay. But there's a little part of me that thinks that he obviously he didn't want to leave, okay. And I can see that, and I can admit to it. But I also can see and go, well, if he's a host, he's obviously going to be programmed to not go with her because he doesn't want to go in the real world.
That is a good little thing to it, but
you know what I mean? That's the thing that makes me still hold on to that little sliver that he very well could be.
I see that. My thing against that is, and I thought of this the other day, and I actually posted this on Reddit. I replied to some guy's post on there because I'm just so sick of everybody saying he was a host. And the guy was saying it, and I was like, okay, well, answer me this. How come he has grown stubble this season because he's been stuck in Westworld and he hasn't been able to shave, but no other host on the show has ever grown facial hair, and we've had to see them shave, or they just have a bunch now because they don't get maintained in the facility and all this shit?
I mean, I guess could just be a little detail they missed.
I don't think they added
William always
facial
had
hair.
stubble.
No, he was clean. He did 5 o'clock shadow, William.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they literally changed his in every scene.
Every episode, the Man in Black's facial hair grows a little bit more.
If you watch the one where he comes back to Jim Delos 3 times or whatever.
Yeah.
His facial hair changes in each scene.
Yeah.
So
I feel like
they were showing that's how he got
specific
older.
point to
They
show
threw
that
some gray in it and
Yeah.
shit.
because it's like in a Walking Dead type situation, it's a.
But I mean, are we
apocalypse or
to
whatever.
believe that just hosts can't grow a beard?
Well, if their character's not supposed to have a beard, then they just don't. Any host that has a beard, say Bernard for say, it looks exactly the same every time.
Because see and I was the other thing that I think of with this whole thing. Okay, so the Man in Black, I know that he's part owner of this whole operation, and he's been going there for 30 years, so he's obviously a high experienced player.
Yeah.
How many fucking times does everyone else die? And this guy has not managed to die yet?
Well,
you know what I mean?
The humans aren't supposed to die.
No, I understand that, but I mean, Like with the whole uprising of the host, like they're killing everybody.
Well, to be fair though, he hasn't run into the people that are killing humans.
Yeah,
except for that guy that Dolores kicked out and he killed all them, he hasn't ran into much hosts that are actually killing humans.
Except for Ford killing Teresa, and maybe Ford killing Arnold. Like the humans weren't dying until this season.
Yeah, because like, the ones that
the 30 years doesn't really matter.
The ones that he's ran into that have attacked him have been like the little hosts that he would take out anyways. Before.
Yeah, but. And I mean, like Elsie's still alive. Like the only people we actually.
Well, maybe she could be looping.
Yeah,
you know.
whatever.
It could be Charlotte Hale.
I mean, the only humans we've seen die are fucking nobodies.
Yeah.
Except Teresa.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think the Man in Black is a host. I never have, and that the conversation that he had with his daughter made me believe that he's not a host. And
yeah,
I think it's funny.
I think he's just a bad dad.
But. Yeah, he's a bad father. He didn't remember that she liked elephants.
And I think it's because he, and it's not like he just didn't care. He's always thinking about, well, I gotta get a step further in this game. I gotta find out what Ford's doing. I gotta fix Jim Delos. He's been thinking about all that stuff. He doesn't care about his family and stuff. Yeah. He neglected his wife. She killed herself. Like, all that stuff.
I think all that came out. Like, she's like,
well, he fell in love with Dolores. That's why he fell out of love with his wife.
Yeah, and then he fell in love with Westworld because of that too. Yeah.
So he's like, hey, you want a drink? She's, I thought you didn't drink, and he's like, huh. Well, yeah. See, like, so some people, he's a host because he's drinking, but no, he's a dickhead because he pretends.
I didn't affiliate that.
Well, because they mentioned that like before in something like they don't drink out of the same bottle and all this shit like in the bar.
No, but yeah, I heard people say that. Yeah, like all the conversation that they had, they're like, oh, it points he is a host. Whereas I took his conversation as, oh, there's no fucking way he's a host. But not that I thought he was a host in the beginning.
It is funny, too, like how you brought up earlier today is, like, when you think that the theory is right, all the things that kind of go against it, you're like, oh, but that person's right. But then when you think the other way, you're like, oh, but that's wrong.
Yeah.
But that's to me, the fun about the show, too, is all that
It's more
shit.
fun talking about the show almost than fucking watching it.
But then watching it makes you talk about it more, though, I
feel.
feel.
Yeah, no, yeah,
definitely.
Totally. If it sucked, it wouldn't be good.
Yeah. But I think that proves it's such a good show.
That was insight right there.
It's so much fun to talk about. I think that also goes into how great of a show
What
it
I
is.
meant was, if it sucked, it wouldn't be fun to talk about.
Yeah, I knew.
Not if it sucked, it wouldn't be good.
Kind of like that.
That's the
Pope
dumbest
show or whatever it was.
Oh fuck that!
That lasted
show.
like 3 episodes, right?
The only good things that came out of the new Pope podcast we did was Mom talking about like wiping penis holes and shit like that.
For fuck's sake!
I remember that episode.
So moving on from that, I brought this up, and me and Nick haven't seen anybody else really talk about this, but we found this pretty interesting. Is that last week we saw the first Delos team show up, but prior to that we thought Carl Strands' crew was the first responders. So we found that pretty interesting that like Stubbs and Charlotte Hale, people that are there, haven't mentioned that the first Delos crew that was there all got killed.
Yeah, like okay, so the dudes that parachuted in last episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the bad, like they come off as like G.I. Joe, like on steroids.
They're all fucked next episode.
Yeah,
like get the fuck out of here, like this is our shit.
They're all gonna get killed.
You failed. We're here to
They're all getting killed next episode, right?
And then
yeah.
And then what I think is cool, which I think this is, I don't know if you consider this a theory or not. I guess it is. I'm speculating on the episode, but I think they're all gonna attack the Delos, like Dolores and Angela and Clementine and Teddy. They're all gonna attack Delos, take Abernathy, and I think Bernard's gonna help because of Ford, because we've seen in his little flashes that he's shooting a P90 in that room and he's standing there and all that. We've seen that in the next one as well.
Ford's gonna make him help him.
So he's gonna make him help. They're gonna take Abernathy and leave, which is part of the thing that he said. You guys went to the distant shore. You left me behind. All that stuff. And then that's why Charlotte Hale sees that, and that's why in the future she's like, "Oh, what happened to Abernathy, Bernard?" I think that's going to be explained then, because he helped them take Abernathy away.
Yeah.
But see, like after they nailed him to the chair or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Charlotte Hale is talking. Was it Stubbs she's talking to, or the guys? And they're like, "Oh, we nailed him." They like nailed him to a chair. They never panned back. So like, I kind of think he like got off of that chair, like for some odd reason.
Yeah, but I don't think he could have.
On the next on, he's still in the chair.
Is he? Okay.
And Delores
is there
is shooting.
People. Yeah.
So I missed that.
I think the reason why Charlotte Hale says that to Bernard is because he helped them take him away. And that, to me, leads more into Delos being fishy in the future scenes that we've seen.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Possibly, yeah. So this is kind of in that same tune. This is where I thought you were going with it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So we see in the next on, Charlotte Hale walks up, and there's the multiple Bernards.
Yeah, but
right?
we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Oh
See where
my
that
God.
goes. Because we've been talking about this literally every week.
Yeah, I know.
I
I
want to
think
know
it was
where that's
episode
going.
1.
Yeah.
After episode.
Yeah.
You literally thought there was a different Bernard in every scene. Remember?
Well, I mean, hey, you
It
never
still
know.
could be, yeah. Right. But
That's the whole thing about the show. I don't sound absolutely insane because you don't fucking know. It
Well,
could be.
I wouldn't go you that far, but you don't
not
sound
absolutely insane. No.
Well, you know.
So,
I mean, not like Arizona State Hospital, mental hospital. I don't need to be in that.
hey, my mom worked there for like 24 years.
Oh, she could have.
That's
She could have
insane.
helped
Like,
Tess.
Was that a...
Well,
Was that a pun?
didn't you guys say that her and I are so alike when it comes to talking about TV shows and shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so there you go. Fuck off.
We accidentally.
You love
gave
your
her-
mom, and you love your mom, and you love your Meemaw, or whatever you call her.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so
yeah. You're welcome.
Back to my theory thing. So they go in the room and they unveil these Bernards or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's Hale and Stubbs. Correct? Now we don't,
Ashley.
yeah, we don't know when this happens,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, we don't know.
That's a
but,
big part of that.
But we do know they're together in this last episode, and that was before the future.
Yeah. So we could
That makes
we could
sense?
assume they could have edited it like that on purpose because we know they were 1 week before the 2 week in the future period.
Right. But but in the future, Charlotte's being a fucking cunt to Bernard.
And Stubbs saves him on the beach.
And Stubbs saves him on the beach, and Stubbs is like, "Hey, boss," and like all this stuff. So I guess my question is what the fuck's up with Stubbs? Because if he knows he's a host, why is he saving him on the beach? Unless they are running him through that shit.
Well, and more to it too is they're hiding. Like we discussed this earlier, they're hiding stuff from us about Stubbs. Like all of a sudden we see him in
Yeah.
the future, he saves Bernard, and then all of a sudden in the past he's captured by Ghost Nation, and then he's at Delos for some reason, somehow escaped Ghost Nation. They're not showing us like a lot of information about him, and then we see him find the Bernards, and he's not telling people about the Bernards. It makes it all very fishy.
yeah.
So it does make a lot of sense if he were to be a host, right?
I'm kind of getting that feeling, but I don't know.
Like, you know what I mean?
I-
But the thing that makes me question him being a host is like how the Ghost Nation took him,
Right.
okay? And how the Ghost Nation seems to be wanting to take like Sizemore. They in the last episode they asked Maeve to come there. They both have the same. Their path leads to the same place or whatever. Like that's kind of the whole thing where I'm just kind of like like that's really not adding up because we don't really know the ulterior motive of the Ghost Nation.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like their only motive is so far is to kill hosts. That's all we've seen them
Yeah,
do.
I'm wondering if like
I mean, right?
we got the idea.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's what I
I-
mean. Like, what like, I'm sure there's something else. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, when they say, our path leads to the same place, are they talking about going and becoming like full sentient, or are they, you know what I mean, like getting out of the real world? Like, what are they talking? What do you mean? What do you think they mean by that?
I'm wondering if from the Cradle, if Ford is possibly controlling Ghost Nation.
I kind of feel
Because
like
you know how
is.
he was writing, as far as we think, he was controlling Maeve all last season.
Yeah.
So he could send them after and be like, whoa, don't kill her, bring her with, all this stuff. And then maybe he would have no reason to kill Stubbs as well, let him go, all this shit. I feel like it could possibly, Ghost Nation is Ford's army or whatever you want to call it.
Like his little
Like,
safety net, kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if something's not going his way, he's going to send them over there and they'll make it happen.
I kind of feel that way. I don't think Stubbs is a host. For one of those reasons is because of the Ghost Nation, because they haven't I
But
think
see,
Yeah, they're the one
you're
thing
right.
that makes it odd, but at the same time, you could just say like they're just killing bad hosts. But like,
And
we don't
I mean,
really
also,
know.
so as we go so far, no one from Delos has been a host except for James Delos, if you
But-
count that.
Yeah,
But I mean, maybe Stubbs got away the same way Emily got away from them. Just took off running.
he could have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they still didn't kill him though. They didn't kill her either. You know what
That's
I mean?
what I mean. Like maybe
Yeah.
that's how he got away from him because we don't know how he got away from Ghost Nation.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
I don't really care how he. I mean, I care how he got away. I want to
I
see
feel
it.
I feel like it has to be important for them to just him all of a sudden be in Delos last week.
Well, what if he's working with Dolores somehow?
Could be.
So, like...
What if Dolores is Stubbs?
Oh, my God.
That was a joke. Honest to God, it was a joke.
Yeah, I know. So, no, what I'm thinking is, like, okay, so Delores is walking Bernard or Arnold, whatever, through, like, the future or whatever, and he says he wakes up on the beach.
She's giving him the fidelity test.
Yeah. And then he wakes up on the beach, and he said, you left me behind, we weren't together, and all this shit. What if, like... She left him there on purpose because
she left him on the beach as an inside guy to get into Delos.
Yeah, so she can use him to get against them when they least expect it, and Stubbs is somehow with that. I don't know how that would happen, but I know that's fucking flimsy as shit. But
it is very flimsy. But I see your idea because of how wishy-washy Stubbs' stuff is.
And I just feel like he's going to be important. It's kind of how Elsie was last year. That's how I feel about Stubbs this year.
Yeah, it seems like they're definitely teaming up for something important.
Plus, they just keep fucking with him. Hey, Ashley, and like all that shit, and like, and then last year, like he was the only one that was like fucking carrying a gun at places and like doing stuff and like being afraid of them like breaking out and stuff when it wasn't going to happen, even though you knew it was going to. I just feel like it's payback for him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I could be completely off, but...
Before I forget, again, because I meant to bring this up a little bit earlier, do you think Dolores is going to regret turning up Teddy?
Yes. I think the reason
Teddy
dies at the end, which is also part of the reason I think he'll be working for Strands' army in the future, is she turned him up, and he's been so bitchy to her this whole the past episode now. Like he's like, oh yeah, I never thought I'd do this, but I guess you changed that too. So I think he's gonna be more than what she wanted. He's just killing people, doing his own shit. So then she's gonna have him killed, but then he'll wake up in Strand's army and go against her.
And she'll have to kill him again.
And just to say, I was completely wrong, because in the previous episode I said that he was going to just completely die off, and I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah. So did
you really say that?
Yeah, he did.
I did.
Oh. Do you like Teddy now?
I just
from
don't.
His past episode.
I mean, sure. I like him because he's off the wall. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. Like he doesn't necessarily think things through. He's just bang, let's go. I want to move it. Keep it moving. Who gives a fuck?
Well,
I kind of like that.
I think he thinks things through quite quickly because they did turn up his.
Well, man, yeah, I guess he could think things through quickly, but he was shooting the little fuckboy, or whatever, like she's trying to get information out of him, and bang, we'll find him.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I really like that. Because no one, everyone's like, oh, Dolores, yeah, sure. But he's like, no, I'll find your dad. Whatever, get on the train. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like it's like when we go to the grocery store or something. You're like, I'm ready, let's go, and they're still fucking around. You shut the door. You're like, Jesus fucking Christ, come on. Luckily, I don't have a gun in my hand.
Yeah, you might
hate
shoot
going
me.
to the grocery store. My least favorite thing to do in the world.
So, Hess, do you have any other theories on Westworld that you want to bring up before I wrap this up?
I don't think so.
Nothing else?
I think I'm all. I'll probably think of something when we're done.
Oh,
sure.
Perfect.
That's helpful.
That'll help a lot.
Maybe I'll just cut a little video and you can, you know what I was thinking about doing.
What?
I was thinking about, and maybe in one of my Fat Ninja Corner videos, like doing it and then say like. Just have it like the screen be black and the music be playing for like 30 seconds, and then do like a little secret segment or something. But that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, totally sounds like a Hess idea.
Yeah,
it's so weird and crazy that like
it's like an after the credit scene in a
YouTube
video.
Yeah,
exactly.
Without credits.
Hey, have you seen any YouTubers do it? We could start a trend.
Yes, we could.
I mean, think about it. Like, if you tell people right now, stay tuned, after the intro or the outro music is done, you're going to see something special.
All right, well, you heard that, folks. Next Fat Ninja's Corner, after the music, you're going to find something special. He said it here first.
He's just
That's
fucking
right.
shaking it.
You just hear, like, it's just him jerking off.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but, dude, it is so insanely hot in here. Holy fuck!
All right, well, on that note, thanks for watching Theory Time with Pleeka this week, everybody. We'll be back next Thursday for more Theory Time with Pleeka. Hopefully we have a lot more theories, and hopefully we're right on all these theories. And, yeah, check us out next Tuesday for Westworld Episode 7.
Open your eyes.